Hello YouTube, you're welcome to another video from me. And yes, this, as you can tell from the description box, is my story of how I made it from midwifery into medicine and how you can too. Exactly. So actually this very first one that I'm doing is part of a series that I'm doing. It's a series I'll title GEMP, Graduate Entry Medical Program, so GEMP for short. The Graduate Entry Medical Program is actually a 4-year course where you top up after doing a degree, and then you get to become a medical doctor. So it's more like instant doctor. Yeah, it's sort of instant. Yes. Yeah, so we'll be looking into that in like the upcoming episodes of this series. But in this one, it's about my personal story. With me, from a time where I was really young, I don't even remember, I always just used to say I'll become a doctor. It wasn't even like there was passion or I particularly had anything that had happened to me that had influenced me wanting to become a doctor, like maybe wanting to save lives or something. I want to do that, but like that wasn't what influenced my decision. I'm pretty sure I might have probably heard it that, oh, doctor, and then I just decided I want to be a doctor. So that's what I had growing up. And everyone around me supported me. My mom, my dad, everyone like really supported my dream of becoming a doctor. So I remember when I grew up a bit, I had a phase where I used to say like I'm scared of blood and I can't stand blood anymore. And then I went to tell my African mother that, hey, I can't stand blood anymore. I won't be a doctor. I'm in medical school now. So you can imagine how that went down. So this woman, hey, I have to be a doctor. Like, I have to be a doctor, So with me, my journey from starting into medical school, so I just knew in my head, okay, I'm going to be a doctor. Like, I'm going to be a doctor. That was it. So JHS went smoothly, passed well, got accepted into Wesley Girls to read science. Like, I was just cruising. I wouldn't even come and make it look like I really suffered and all that. I was cruising through it all. Then I went to Wesley Girls, another story you guys need to hear. I had great experiences there. And then after Wesley Girls, I went into that's where it all started. So right after Wesley Girls, I knew that after school I'm going to go to China to do medicine. And like it was fixed. My dad had agreed, he was into it, everything. So when it came to time, the results came out. My results were cool. It was okay. Then it was time for us to choose schools. Like, when you come from SHS, you are going to university, they go on tech, UCC, everything. You are choosing your universities here. Me at that time, I knew that. Like, I'm going abroad to read medicine. So I couldn't even be bothered about like really looking to choose schools. But then as the process was going on, my dad was like, Mommy, it looks like you might delay in writing the SATs exam that I needed to write for 1 year. So within that year, I should just pick any course in the university. And he recommended that I pick food science because we thought food science was like catering. So he wanted me to get some culinary skills and all that. And with me, it was just vibes. Okay, let me pick it. Let me do it for 1 year. After 1 year, I'm gone. I'm going to become a doctor. So I actually chose only Legon, and even in that Legon, I didn't even choose medicine. Like, I didn't even apply. So as like some months were going, everything, and then University of Health and Allied Sciences, UHAS. It was a new university. I didn't even know anything about it. Then my dad tells me that, Mommy, some really nice university has opened in Hope. So like, you just apply for midwifery there. And then I was like, Daddy, I don't really need this. But he's like, just apply for midwifery or something, because they are not even they haven't started medicine there. So fast forward, I'm home like chilling after everything. Then the university's acceptance letters start rolling in. So I get accepted to Legon to do nutritional food science. I'm excited and everything. And at the same time, I get accepted to UHAS to read midwifery. And I don't even care. Let me be honest with you, I didn't even care. Then so Legon, we had to go and do some matriculation, and no, not matriculation, it's like orientation, exactly. So we had to do an orientation in Legon. So I went for the orientation. The day I met some of my seniors who were now like intense, butcher boys. I was rolling with some of them. Like, shout outs to nobody. If they are watching this, they know themselves. Like I'll go to Kent, hang out with them. Trust me, Legon is like Wesley Girls Annex. Like it was literally like more than half of my class. They were in Legon. I just kept running into them. That like they were my crowd, my people. Like I knew them. I was having fun. I enjoyed the matriculation. Why do I keep saying matriculation? The orientation. I went every single day. Imagine, for the orientation. So on the last day of the orientation, I come back. I'm telling my dad that we need to pay my Legon school fees. We need to get hostel. Like we have to act fast. And like Daddy's like, okay. So he pays the school fees, because I need my school fees to get books and then start lectures. But now hostel fees, like he's not putting in. And then he tells me like, we have to have a conversation. So basically I have this conversation with my dad, and then finally I understand that I'm not going to travel abroad anymore. I can't really divulge the reasons why, but like I won't be traveling abroad anymore. So when he told me, honestly, I wasn't bothered though, because I got Legon. When I went to Legon, my friends were there, my squad was there, I was bowling with the Pens boys. Like, you can't tell me anything, you can't. So I'm like, okay, no problem, I'll stay in Legon. And then he tells me the second thing is that he thinks midwifery is better for me than the food science I chose. Like that thing, if I remember how I felt when he started saying that I should go to UHAS, and with him, like his whole belief was that when I'm done with midwifery, then I would go and do medicine, and midwifery already had a medical base, so it would make it easier for me to transition to medicine. I was like, oh no, like for the first time, I've always been an obedient child, but like this one, I was like, no, like I don't want to. Do you get it? So fast forward, I had already paid my Legon school fees here. I hadn't even made any efforts to follow up on the UHAS after we had that conversation. Then he tells me that I have to go for an interview because I've been accepted at UHAS, and then before I make it into UHAS, I have to go for an interview. By the way, before that, even before that, we now found out that UHAS had started medicine. They started with my time, which was 2014, yes. So I actually went into their portal. I hear they gave an allowance to change whatever you applied for in case you wanted medicine. So I went into my portal to change the midwifery to medicine. And I was thinking that, okay, if I go medicine in UHAS, maybe I can sacrifice and then go to UHAS. So when the interview came, I was thinking that, okay, maybe then it's for the medicine instead. So I actually went to UHAS to go for this interview. Then when I got there, I realized that they were like, I changed too late and it wasn't accepted. So the interview is actually for midwifery. So I didn't even like prepare anything. They gave us a place to sleep. I went to get my own place. Like I was prepared to be rebellious. So that morning, I dressed up for the interview. So I wear a jeans and then I wear a top. It's a branded top with writings and calligraphy, like those cartoonish a top, like a shirt there. So the moment I get there, I'm like preparing, people are dressed up officially, church clothes, everything, and then I go there in my jeans and top. And then I meet one man. The man starts shouting, "Are you seriously coming for an interview dressed like this? It is a 0. You will not be able to enter with this dressing." Like he's really shouting. And I had this lady there, like I know her, shout out Auntie Elom. And Auntie Elom is like, "Mommy, like why would you even wear this?" And then She takes me to town. She goes to buy me an outfit, like everything. Like this woman really bought me an outfit, and I'm like, okay, fine, let me change. Because like it really embarrassed me. So it's finally my turn to be interviewed. I get in, and then I see he's part of the panel, and then he's like, good. This is how you're supposed to dress, and I'm very proud of you. That as I spoke to you, you went and then you went to change. So he was already giving me good comments. Okay, fine. So I sit down, I'm interviewed, it's a lovely interview, everything. And then finally they asked me the question, which is my make or break question, why I want to do midwifery. And then I told them that, me actually, I don't want to do midwifery. It's medicine that I want to do. So even the midwifery that I'm doing, when I'm done, I'm going to do medicine. Like, this is literally how the panel looks at me. And they're like, so you want to use midwifery as a springboard? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, thank you. Like, I felt like I have succeeded. Now, my dad should come and tell me to go to UHAS, go back to Accra, and I'm attending lectures for nutritional food science. Like, when I'm going to school, I used to go from the house because I still didn't have a host job. So, and mind you, me at that point, I felt like I've killed it at the UHAS level. Like, don't call me back. But I didn't tell my dad what I've done. So when I'm going to school and he's complaining, and then I won't get a job when I'm done with nutrition food science, and he doesn't know why I'm still holding on to it, and I won't just listen to him. And so I actually went to Guinness Ghana. I went to meet one man there. I can't even remember his name. Then I tell him my issue, and I'm like, when I'm done, I'll be you guys to give me a job. I'll get a job, everything. So I took his number and I was like, I'll let him speak to my dad. Like, I actually believed I'll get a job like that. So I'll let him speak to my dad. So I was like, okay. So I took the number to my dad. My dad is like, no, he's not speaking to anybody. Now his decision is final. I am going to do that. Like, it's not even up for discussion. When he was doing that, I really wasn't like that bothered, because I felt like, I've called my chance to go. So me, I'm just waiting for whose letter to come to finally say that I've not been picked, and then matters will settle. So I wasn't really worried. Only for Ho to send me an acceptance letter. Like, who sent you? So I got accepted into UHAS. Then I had to, like, so now my parents are like, yeah, I'm going to UHAS, everything. It was like getting so much, like the whole pressure, So I went for lectures in Legon one day. So that was on Wednesday. I went for lectures on Wednesday. I'd gone for lectures Monday, Tuesday, 2 days. So on Wednesday when I went, I didn't come back home. I called my parents that I'll stay with my friend Mansa. So I went to stay at Mansa's place. She had a hostel in Bani. So I went to Bani. Like, Mansa and I really wanted to be in Legon together. So like, I went to Bani, we were brainstorming together how I can convince my parents where I stay, everything. I remember I went in the kitchen in Bani, and they were really thinking what we can do. Shout out to Manta. Oh yeah, she has a YouTube channel. This is Manta. Go and check it out. Go and check it out. Quality content. Yeah, so let's go back to the story. And we're thinking, we couldn't come up with anything. So I didn't go home Wednesday, I didn't go home Thursday. Then my mom calls. She's like, I should come home. So I go. I'm not a hard girl like that. So I actually go home on Friday. And she's like, I have to go to UHAS because UHAS school is starting the next Monday. So I'm home on Friday. So they want to take me to school in UHAS the next day. And I don't want to go. I'm at this point, like, I'm trying to reason out with my daddy. I'm begging my dad, because my dad usually, he's not difficult. He's not. So I try, like, I'm eating with him one evening. I'm begging him. I don't want to do everything. And then he's also telling me that he's my father. He wouldn't do something that wouldn't benefit me in the long run. And it's a difficult decision, but he wants me to go everything. Like, my heart. God. So after I was done, like, I told him, no, I'm not going. Like, I'm not going. So I meet my mom with the same energy. She was packing my stuff for me, because I decided I would not pack anything. So she was actually packing clothes for me. So I saw my clothes in the suitcase. I went to pick the clothes, went to put them back in my wardrobe, because I am not going to UHAS. I say what? I am not going to UHAS. So I put my clothes in the wardrobe. So my mom goes back to the suitcase. She sees that my clothes are not inside. She comes to the wardrobe, picks my clothes, puts in the suitcase again. Like, this is American movie behavior. I picked the clothes out of the suitcase and I put them back in my wardrobe. Then my mom storms into the room. She beats me, slaps me. My sisters were all in the room, all shouting, "Mommy, mommy, mommy!" Like, everybody started tearing up, like crying, and my mom is crying, and then she's like, she's my mother. If this wasn't a good decision for me, she would never let me take it. Now, why do I want to throw my future away because of my friends and everything to go and read a course? Honestly, we really misunderstood nutritional science. We thought we misunderstood it, let me say it. And then she felt like it was a course that would be a useless course and I'll be a liability. And this is a chance for me to start something and then later go on to medicine. She beat me up and she herself was crying. I was crying. My sisters were crying, like, we're all crying. Like, it was sad. It was very emotional. So I'm just seated on the floor. Like, mind you, I was 18 or 19 years. My mom hadn't beaten me in so long. And then she beat me up emotionally. She stopped packing. She went to her room to cry. My sisters came around me. Like, I don't even remember how I finally... I'm way too emotional. Can you guys believe I'm coming to cry? Because of... Give me a moment. Okay, so I'm back. Strong woman. We're not crying. Yes, so I don't even know how I managed to pack, but eventually I actually packed, and then the next day I was going to US. My mother, father, and then my kid sister were taking me to US. So on the way, trust me, I was so down. Like, everybody was down. Like, we rarely have these kind of issues where we are clashing with the family and all that. And during the whole trip, I was just staring out of the window. I didn't talk, like, from Accra to home. I didn't talk much. I don't remember talking. Just looking out of the window, I was broken. I was really, really broken. And so I got to UHAS. When I get to UHAS here, I am determined to not have a good time. Like, that is my purpose. That I will not have fun. That was my goal. But UHAS just had me. Like, I was supposed to go to UHAS. I had to experience UHAS, and I met so many amazing people, had so many wonderful experiences. Like, UHAS is a whole story time or 5 on its own, honestly. Yeah, so we'll get to that. So skip. Now I'm done with UHAS here. Graduated, did very well, came out, everything. Then, the funny thing actually is, I didn't know about GEMP. Even after graduation, I didn't know about GEMP. And I was trying to remember, like, how did I get to know about GEMP? I'm not so sure, but all I knew was that there was this senior of mine in UHAS who entered GEMP, and then, like, she was actually in medicine, and that's my earliest memory of GEMP. So I quickly reached out to her, asked her more questions about it. She told me, and I was like, oh, like, there's something I can do, so I can apply. So quickly, I spoke to my brother, Eric. Then we decided to apply to GEMP. Like we have our term that we say. I don't want to say it here because, yeah. So we actually applied to GEMP. I'm actually saying the term. Then, by this time, I actually knew I wanted to be a doctor. I really knew I wanted to be a doctor. Earlier, like I said, there wasn't really like a passion. It was just something I'd heard and I wanted to. But after experiencing midwifery for 4 years, yes, I loved midwifery. I learned a lot. But I knew midwifery wasn't for me. Like, it wasn't what I saw myself doing long term, in as much as it was interesting, fun. There's a lot to learn and then very involving. I knew I wanted to do like medicine. I knew I wanted to be in the health sector, but then at the position of a doctor, so that I can actually have like a say in exactly what happens with my patients and all that. Like, I wanted to have more of a say on how to treat my patients and care for them and all. So that is when I found my reason. So I started asking questions into the game. Like at this point, I knew that this was really what I wanted. And then it was just about the time where it was looking for us to pick forms. So I went for forms, everything. And I actually became like more prayerful. And these things that I'm going into, like the spiritual realm of all this, like it had always been prophesied to me, even when I was younger, that I'll be a doctor. Like I consistently had prophecies about it. But after I applied to GEMP, I went for the access course. The access course really like you meet like some of the smartest brains. And because the program was very competitive, they were looking for about 50 to 60 people. And over 500 people applied for the access course. And by the time we were done with the course, it's a 2 weeks training program. By the time we were done with the course, they shortlisted to about 318 of us, about that number, who were supposed to now go and write exams. And after the exams, 100 will be chosen, and then we'll go for an interview. And out of the interview, 50 people, like that's what we're doing, 50 people will be chosen, and then that's it. So like I saw the final list, 318 people. I'm like, Jesus, like I was just standing by the list. I didn't even realize what I was doing. Like I was shaking. Then a guy who was also applying comes and he says, don't worry, you make it. Like, I don't know, but I was so worried. Like I called my friend in the key, the lady in the previous video. I was telling her that I'm scared because this access course that I've come to, you should see how people are answering questions that you are sitting there, you don't have any idea. Like everybody is so confident and everybody is so secretive because we are all trying to get in. You don't want to share all your knowledge and then you lose out. I had like this group study of like friends and then my brother Eric that we used to study together, everything. So fast forward, we wrote the exams. I passed. Like when I got that message that you have passed on to the interview stage of blah 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 blah, I don't have the message anymore. But like God, that day, so you know, after the exam, the interview like just follows. So you don't really know if you passed or if not passed, if you should go and buy outfits for an interview or you should not buy. Me, I wanted to buy like a new outfit for an interview. So I was actually on my way to buy the outfit by faith. When I received the message, like I couldn't contain myself. Like called my mom, called like my family, everything, told them we're all so happy. So then the next stage was the interviews. I went to the interview. My interview was interesting. Like it was fun. They were joking with me. I was talking to them. I was making them laugh at certain points. Like I thought everything was settled. Okay, so like after the interview and everything, like there's this really long pause before the the final list was released, which was really like, so in our time, our seniors were telling us that we would have come earlier, but like it kept like so long before the final list was released. So within that period, I visited Destiny Nation, Kewa's church. Yes, the producer Kewa. He's actually a prophet, mega man of God. Yeah, so I actually visited his church, and it was a prophecy night. So there was a prophet around, and he actually prophesied to me. And he told me that I was going to go into medical school and I was going to start in the month of April. Like, he was very specific. So me, I was actually excited. But then, you know, I already told you, like, I'd heard so many prophecies about going to medical school and all that. So it wasn't anything new to me, but I was very happy about how specific it was. And I went on to say that, oh yes, I've actually applied to medical school and I've made it past the interview and all that. And all that is left is for a confirmation to know if I'm going to be in or out. Like one thing the prophet actually said was that I was supposed to go abroad to do medicine. But me at this point, I didn't want to go abroad because I felt like, I've not yet applied abroad. So if I'm going to go abroad, that means it's going to take a longer time and all that. I've already applied in Ghana. So I really want UG to work. So he was saying abroad, but me, I was telling him I want Ghana. He was saying, hey, abroad, you get it? So it wasn't really like the UG is UG. Do you get? So there was still a bit of anxiety there. There was still a bit of anxiety. Finally, the day comes. Like everybody, like people were receiving congratulations, you've been accepted, send your acceptance letter, everything. And like my brother called me, Eric called me that, he hasn't received his yet. So, and I'm like, oh, me too, I haven't received mine yet. So then after like a few minutes, Eric called me that he has received his, not knowing his memory space was full. He had to delete messages. Really like this link being sent around. Okay, so like you can type your name in it. If you have been admitted, your name will come up, then you know that you're accepting and all that. I typed my name in that thing like 100 times, but my name wasn't there. Like my brother's name was there. Like, hey, my friends' names were there. My name wasn't there. I deleted, like my memory wasn't full. I was deleting messages, trying to see if my message would come. My message wouldn't come. So like when it was evening, because this thing started like in the afternoon, by evening, the messages weren't coming again. Like it was done. Then my brother called me trying to encourage me that I should try again next year. But trust me, like I told myself that even I don't want to have to not make it and then have to come back next year. Like I can't. I didn't think I could at all. So actually when all this was happening, I was lying in a chair in the hall and all that. My sisters gathered around. They realized that I'd gone quiet. Like I started crying while I was in the chair. And my family, we have this really toxic habit. It's bad. Like when something serious happens, yeah, sometimes we laugh, like we tease each other about it. Like I was crying and my sister was saying, "Wash, don't worry, I'll go again next year." Started singing Medio Bika, Nanzumi Didi. Yeah, then she was just laughing at me like, "Oh, medical school into me soon. Yeah, we into soon." Like those kind of things. Hey, I was lying there. My mom was sitting like really close to me. My mom saw how heartbroken I was. Like I went upstairs into my room. I just locked the door because my sisters were annoying me. Like at that point, and I was sad. I was heartbroken because like that's the end. That it comes in bulk. I mean, so once your name is not part of it, like what can you do? And it wasn't like I knew anybody or I had any connections or anything to even call and ask like why is my name not part, everything, because I killed the exam. I thought I killed the interview, everything. So I'm upstairs in my room, yeah. And then I have an uncle, like a very good family friend. He's very influential. So I tried calling this man, like I called him. I called the man 130 times. After that, he blocked me. Because like he's such a busy man and everything. And then when he picked the first time, I was crying. I was like, please, I beg, I need him to go to the school for me. And he was like why? He can't go to the school for me. He doesn't even know anybody there and all that. And he's actually very busy. He's not in the country. And I kept on calling, like after 130 times, I still can't believe I'm so crazy. So after that, it was like at night, around 10 p.m. I was just broken. I was completely broken. I was like, I've hit a wall. I don't think I have the strength to have to do this again. I wept. So the next morning, I go and see my mom. My mom was like encouraging me, she and my dad, at least I passed the exam. That means I put in my best and all that. Then, so while my parents are like talking to me, encouraging me, everything, God, guys, I was broken because I'm like, is it that I have to suffer for everything? Like at this point, I have to go and try this all over again? Because mind you, other sports was tough. I literally left home to go and live in Kolebu with my friend Nasakwe to study like so hard for this. I thought I killed it with the interview. I used to pray a lot, like everything. So I thought I had it in clear shots and I just didn't have it anymore. So my parents realized I was really down and my dad was going out. I was begging him that let's at least go to the school to see somebody. So he said, okay, fine. Then he will do his rounds first and then after that he'll take me to the school and then we will see if you can see somebody, because honestly we didn't know anybody. That was it. Honestly, that was it. That was a very dark night for me. So I followed my dad. We went to the registrar's general's office and all, and then I'm just sitting there. I'm waiting for him. Like, he legit didn't want me to be alone. I don't know. I think they were scared I might harm myself or something. So I was just sitting in the office with him. He was talking to one of their he was talking to someone. So I'm seated there, like, me, I didn't want to go on WhatsApp because my friends were all sending me, sorry, try again next year, it's fine. Meanwhile, you've made it, and they are sending me those messages. It's really annoying. Trust me, it's very, very annoying. So finally, like, I was seated there, then I just decided to, like, go on my phone, try and reply some messages and all that. But I wasn't going to, like, reply any goodwill, try again next year message, don't worry, God is in control and all that. I wasn't going to reply. Then, guys, I opened my phone and oh my God, message from University of Ghana. Congratulations, you have made it into the A. Like, I didn't even finish. I started shouting. And mind you, I was in the registrars. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that place. It's very crowded. Like, everybody was just watching me, like, shouting. And then, like, I ran to my dad. I went to tell my dad. He was like, he just got up, he was happy. You know, I ran outside. I went to call my mom. Like, she wasn't even getting what I was saying on the phone. Like, I was super, super excited. Like, I was so happy. I didn't call my sisters. I didn't call them. I think I told them later or something, because those girls said, hey. But, like, oh my God, it was like, I was happy. I don't even know how to describe it. Because, guys, this is a miracle. Like, it doesn't happen, no. It really doesn't. Like, how did it happen? Me, I decided I'm not even going to ask any question because I've made it. That's what is important. Because how does this happen? Like, when I called my brother, I told him, I don't know. Like, this is God. Guys, me, I always say it is God that brought me to medical school. My story in medical school, I think I'll tell it when I complete, but it's God that is keeping me here. Because this is God. Like, it can't be anything. It can't. Because how could everybody receive their results? Like, everyone thought it was over because the thing comes in bulk. If you didn't get your message, you didn't get. The God who includes me said, what? Her name must be on this list. He added my name. Like, I always say, God added my name. God added my name. Honestly. And then I got in, guys. It was tears of joy. It was tears of joy. Like, I couldn't stop saying thank you to God. I couldn't. So fast forward, that's how I prepared. I got in, paid the fees, everything. And today I'm just a year away from completing, and it's still the same song, guys. So I'm way too emotional. This is my story. It's one of faith. It's one of faith. It's one of showing how incredible God is. Like, he's the best connection you need. Me, I thought I had a very connected uncle. I have been blocked by him. Oh, human beings can only take it that far. Just 130 missed calls now. He blocked me. And it wasn't my intellect alone. I'm sure, like, many people came. Everyone was smart. So I wouldn't even say it's my intellect. Like, it's just God. So me, that's actually the basis why I knew I had to tell this story. I had to tell the testimony. And to anybody out there, just know that God will take care of you. Like, God will take care of you. Basically, me, that's my journey. My journey has been one of God taking care of me through and through. All through it. So this is a story of my journey into medical school. It's been an exciting one. I'm enjoying studying medicine so far, and I hope you really enjoyed the story. So you know the thing, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification everything that you have to do. And do follow my other socials. Everything is in the description box. And please, let's keep it interactive in the comment section, okay? Let me know which part you really liked and what you picked up from this, what lessons you're learning, whatever you think about it. If you love it, hit the like button. If you hate it, don't dare hit the unlike button. All right, so yes, good night or good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. And I'll see you again with another exciting video.